Hello everyone and welcome back to VLADA'S Place. In today's video, we're going to learn how to make a homemade marmalade and how to do it without any preservatives. But before we get to it, I want to share the inspiration behind this particular video and my recent visit to my hometown of Međaši in Republic of Srpska. On this particular day, I was visiting with my sister and spending some time on her homestead. My siblings and I had a great fortune to grow up on a large family farm. Since then, my sister has moved in a nearby city where she lives and works today. Her Monday to Friday schedule is always followed by the weekends on a family ranch. She calls it a downtime, a time to relax and reconnect with nature. Busy week gets only busier here, but that's the way she likes it. In addition to her full-time job and to running her homestead, for years now, she's been also tending to the little house I have right across from her yard and the vast orchard behind it. She knows how much I love growing fruit trees, and this is her way of keeping me right next to her. Every so often, we would meet in this place so that we can together enjoy the fruits of this orchard. Some of these apple trees are truly special because they are old kinds of apples, the kinds that you can't buy in the store today. And to make them even more special, each one of these fruits has its own worm. Not to mention that none of these trees are ever sprayed. This is the way of life we both agree on, and both of us are doing our share to preserve it and pass it on to the next generations. There are so many varieties of fruits and vegetables on this little piece of land. And her chickens? Oh my, they were so beautiful. I was almost envious. Well-fed, free-range chicken means healthy eggs and healthy meat. These chickens have it made with plenty of space to roam, plenty of sunshine and healthy food. And if that was not enough, she also plants a full-size garden each year. Being a mother of 2 and a grandmother of 3, she takes feeding her family very seriously. Freezers are well stocked, the smokehouse is filled with prosciutto and homemade sausages, pantry is filled with the tomato sauce, and fresh herbs are picked for whatever winter sniffles might bring. Oh, and let's not forget her homemade jams and marmalades.
I'm in my orchard, and this is such a fun and pleasure to walk among the fruit trees and to be able to get your own apples off of your tree.
My love and connection to nature is deeply rooted in my childhood.
These are my favorite apples in the world. They are equally sweet as they are sour. And of course, each one has its own warmth.
Even after 50 years, I continue to draw strength and energy from those childhood days. I wish that every child on this planet will grow up to have nature as its best friend. And I wish that all cement and plastic playgrounds will be replaced with vast orchards and beautiful apple trees. Regardless of how advanced we become technologically, our children will always need the nature and the space to roam. This is something we must remember if we are to raise healthy and happy children. My charity, called VLADA'S Seeds of Life, is dedicated to that exact purpose. Our goal is to help raise better connected and healthier families and communities. In doing so, I'm dedicated to promoting this particular lifestyle via my television program here in America. To find out more about the charity and its programs, please visit VLADA'S Seeds of Life at VLADAV.com. It's time to say goodbye to Majasha and our friends, and it's time to get back home to LA. So let's get back to our marmalade recipe. Since I don't have homegrown fruit, I had to buy peaches, strawberries, and apples. So peaches, we're just gonna slice them like this, and strawberries, cut them on 4, or maybe just half, whatever works best. And with apples, we are gonna shred them. So this way they can cook in faster. By the way, check my nails. They look terrible. Not because they're dirty, but because I have been squishing grapes and I got all this dark stuff around my nails. They look pretty miserable, but I had quite a bit of fun squishing the grapes and getting them ready for fermentation to make brandy. Now we're gonna add sugar. I have a raw sugar here. So I will go with about 2 cups. This is a half a cup portion, so 4 of these. And by the way, sugar is one of the things that preserves the fruit. So I know this looks like a lot of sugar, but sugar will help to keep this fruit from spoiling. After this, we're just gonna mix the sugar with the fruit and allow fruit to sit overnight so the fruit can release the juices. And then we're gonna come back to this and start cooking tomorrow. I just opened the fridge and I realized I have a few of homegrown figs. So although you don't have to do this, I'm gonna add them to this jam because we are making marmalade after all. So after leaving fruit and sugar overnight for fruit to release its juices, the marmalade is on the stove. So right now, if you come closer, I'm gonna show you. I have been cooking this for almost 2 hours. When I started cooking this marmalade, I was on a medium high, and I cooked on medium high for about 2 hours. And now that I have lost most of the fluids, I'm going on a medium high. Another helpful tip is, my mom used to say, when you move the jam like this, or you move the spoon to jam, if you are able to see the bottom of a pot, that means you're almost done with making the jam. The fruit blended really well, except these peaches. And this is very interesting actually, and I want to share this with you because normally back home, when you put the peach in a jam, it would just dissolve almost immediately. These peaches, despite the temperature, despite the time of cooking, never change their shape. So I'm just thinking that these peaches must be genetically modified to keep their shape so they don't get too squishy in the stores. I mean, this is very, very interesting, and I have to say I'm very surprised because if this was a homegrown peach, this would not be happening. But this is what we had, and this is what I had to work with. So in any case, they do taste good, and we are almost done. Now you can hear the fire, you can see the steam. Another 5 to 10 minutes and we are ready to pack. If you visit my YouTube channel, you're going to find out a couple of more instructions on how to make jam. I have instructions on how to make a peach jam and fig jam. The system is pretty much the same. And in both of my videos, I was showing you how to preserve jams and other preserves without using any preservatives. So the only preservative here is sugar and temperature, because the key is to pour the jam in warm jars, dry, warm jars, and to do it at a really high temperature so that temperature from the jam will kill any bacteria if there's any bacteria in a jar. Now, a lot of people will argue this and say this is not safe, but I've been doing it for years and I have never had a spoiled jar of jam. So I'm going to show you quickly what I'm doing since we're almost done. Oops, but the peppers are done, so let me get these peppers out. I'm making a fire roasted pepper salad, and by the way, if you're interested to get the recipe, you can find this recipe on our YouTube channel on VLADA'S Place. Okay, so to ensure the jam does not spoil, first thing we're gonna pour hot jam in a jar, and then we're gonna set it in a blanket and cover it to maintain that high temperature for a while, so that the jam could basically take care of any germs in a jar, period. So basically what I'm doing here is just on a very low temperature, preheating the jars to adjust their temperature to jam so the glass does not break. So also, if I leave them on a low heat, they're also going to get nice and dry inside to make sure there's no moisture in a jar before we pour the jam. Okay, we're ready, and to make sure that you don't burn your hands, use an under dish like this, and you just pour it in. This would be a good time to reduce the temperature to medium-low to low once again. Again, this has a different consistency because it is a mixed fruit, and these peaches did kind of throw me off with the fact that they did never release the juices and they stayed intact. But in any case, I have tried this marmalade and it tastes absolutely delicious. We got a pretty hot jar here, so handle it with care when you're securing the lid and wiping any excess jam on the outside. Once done, tuck it in and cover it to maintain the temperature in a jar. Rest is just a repeat. And for all of you who are wondering, why should anybody trouble themselves with so much work for a couple of 3 jars of a homemade marmalade? Well, the answer is simple. First, we should not sit still. Doing things keeps us healthy, physically and mentally. Not to mention how important it is to teach our kids how to preserve food without any preservatives. It's very nice. Who knows what future generations might need? And this is a kind of skill that humanity will need forever. Once done, put it aside for about 24 hours. Food should be simple, natural, and delicious. And according to my son, this marmalade scored very high. 10 out of 10 according to him. Simple ingredients for simple life. Thank you all so much for watching and for spending time with me today. I hope you like this video, and until the next one, please take good care of yourself and those around you.